Hello everyone. Welcome back to our last Monday of YOGA30. Take a moment to take a comfortable seat. Place out your mat. Roll your neck around. Say hello to yourself. I'm glad you're here. It's a really feel-good movement. Wanted to bring my new awesome water bottle that my sister got for me. Thanks, Rachel. It's a whole gallon and it has inspirational words for every couple hour block to just keep going, to keep drinking water so that you can drink one of these every single day, which there's another woman on Dojo. You're already on the app, you're already on the website. Go over to Nicole Larson's page. She's starting a challenge today. She has nutrition, exercise. She's just a wealth of information and an amazing person. So do yourself a favor, join the challenge, drink your water, do your yoga, meet me in a tabletop shape. It's so nice to start here because we can really connect into the mat, we can ground into the palms, into the knees, and just because we're supporting ourselves in this tabletop shape, everything is structured so that you can really kind of relax the spine as you start to shift from side to side. So everything stays stable, the palms grip into the mat, and then you just start to lean to the right and to the left, just a little bit more. Just assessing your body. And if you want to take any cat-cows, any shoulder rolls, just kind of embrace some organic movement here. Gripping into your fingertips, and then just start to tuck your toes, shift forward and back. We're going to head into a tabletop to bear to down dog mobility routine. So take care of your wrists, come onto your fists if it's ever too intense. Keep your toes tucked, take a big breath in, and on your exhale, lift up your knees and hover into your bear pose. And then stay here for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and then walk your right hand forward, your left hand forward, find your downward facing dog. All right, and then let's just journey back to our bear pose. So walk your right hand in, your left hand in, and then hover those knees over. Maybe adjust your wrists so they're right underneath your shoulders. And this one again, we're just gonna hold it for 5. Relax through the shoulder blades for 3, 2, and then drop into your tabletop, drop your belly, open up your chest, find your cow pose. Take an exhale and then round your spine, push into your toes, hover your knees, take 1 breath, and then send your hips high. Walk your left hand out, walk your right hand out. And then walk your left hand in, walk your right hand in. Exhale down to your bear pose, and then inhale, open up your chest, find your cow pose. As you exhale, round your spine, tuck your tailbone, hover your knees, and then send your hips up high. Walk your right hand out and your left hand out. Take a breath in your down dog. And then walk your right hand back, walk your left hand back, hover your knees. Take an inhale to drop your knees and open up your chest. Let's just keep moving like that. So exhale, tuck your tailbone, round the spine, find your bear pose, and then send the hips all the way out. Walking your hand up to your down dog, and then walking your hand back to your bear, hover your knees, and then slowly drop them. Inhale, open up your chest. Let's do 3 more just like that. So round your spine, tuck your toes, hover, and then send your hips up high. Walk your right hand out, left hand, take a breath in your downward dog, and then walk your right hand back, your left hand back, hover the knees, and on your inhale, drop your knees, open your chest. Move with your own breath. Maybe add in something or take it away or hover and linger somewhere that feels really good to you. But just give yourself a couple more. Just like that, moving with your breath. Awesome, and then we'll meet in a tabletop shape. Point the fingers back towards your knees. Keeping the toes tucked or not. Send your hips back. Maybe just pulse a few times so that you can find that sweet spot and you can totally just let those hips melt down. See if you can tuck your chin and just let your head hang. Maybe drop your right ear to your right shoulder and the opposite way. Good, take one more breath. And then send the hips back up and just kind of sit back onto the heels, rotate out through the wrists. We're gonna head back into a downward dog, so maybe shake things out, grip into your fingertips, send your hips up high. And we'll just find a downward facing dog. So we're gonna come into some twists over to the right and to the left. So with that left hand, grab onto the outside of your right leg, and then slowly come back to a plank pose. This is optional. And then walk your right hand outside your left leg. So you do not have to come back into a plank in between your twists, in between your rotations. You can even just stay right here, twisting side to side. Maybe giving yourself a couple on each side. Adding in that push-up, that plank whenever you want it. Give yourself about 3 more each direction with whatever you're doing, maybe shifting forward or maybe just twisting side to side. Good. Last one. Make sure you're nice and even and then drop your knees. Maybe keep your knees nice and narrow this time and then send your belly down. Let your forehead connect. Find a narrow child's pose. Make some fists with the wrists. A couple times. Awesome, then roll your body up. If you're comfortable in your seat, maybe grab a pillow and sit on a pillow. We're gonna interlace our fingers behind our head. So kind of like a seated cat-cow. As you inhale, lift your chest and squeeze your elbows back. And as you exhale, round your spine. Get nice and small. Try to bring your elbows together. Inhale to open up your chest, squeeze your elbows back, maybe arch through your spine. And as you exhale, round your spine, get nice and small, gentle, gentle pressure of the hands on the head. You're really lucky that I'm not wearing my microphone and blowing really loudly in your face, because I want you to hear your breath. I want you to feel your breath expand through your awesome, amazing fascia. So big inhales, take 2 more. Really take your time with it. Make some space to open up those lungs. And then just release that, let that go. I forgot to say to grab a pillow, so grab yourself a pillow. You're definitely gonna want something comfy. And we're gonna start with that right knee on the pillow, so it should feel nice and squishy. If this is a comfortable place for you to be, in a nice half splits, we're gonna come into some core hip mobility. Really, really feel good movement. You can always use your hands if that feels better. So take an inhale, and on your exhale, start to shift your hips up, bend into that left knee. Good. And then just send the hips back. Maybe you go all the way down. Maybe you just go about halfway, and then just kind of lean into that left knee. So I like to keep my left forearm on my knee, and just kind of sitting down however far it feels good to you. Getting a really deep stretch through that right knee. If it feels better to just stay up and point through those left toes, move through that, let it feel good. This is your Mobility Monday. Why don't you take about 3 more, moving through your pillow lunges. And on this last one, when you bend into that left knee, go ahead and stay there. Bring your arms so that they're connecting, crisscross over that left knee. And then just let that left leg take you so that you can soften up through that right hip. What's available, what's safe. See if you want to take 2 or 3 more breaths. If there's any discomfort in that left knee, then just adjust your ankle farther away. All right, gently bring your right hand down onto the mat so that you can take the pressure off your hips before you slowly send your hips back. And then just slowly walk your left knee down so that we can bring that left pillow underneath that left leg. Maybe it feels good to take a few hip circles. Gently put pressure into that left knee and then send your right foot forward. Maybe sit all the way down into your half splits. So you can use the hands on either side just to get you going. Lifting up through the hips. I like to rest my forearm on that knee. Maybe you go halfway down, maybe you go all the way down. So we're kind of in a lizard lunge position. Our right knee is really far to the right, really nice and open, almost at a 30-45 degree angle. Again, nice and slow. Nice and tuned into those hips. And that space, that edge that you hit, see if what happens if you just give it one more moment longer. Why don't we take about 3 more, and on the last one, we'll hold and we'll just linger into it. Awesome, last one. Let's just chill. Cross that left forearm over your right, melt through your shoulders, melt through your head. Let that right hip take you. Good, one more big breath in. Big breath out. Bring your hands onto the mat. Take the pressure off your hips and then bring your hips back. Swing that right leg around. Both knees on the pillow. Bring your feet your hips about hip distance apart. Legs about hip distance apart. Take some of the hip circles. And then just reverse that direction. Good. So we're just going to do one more thing. So standing up off your pillow. We're all done with the pillow. We're going to move into some really nice hip openers. So stepping your left foot forward, bringing your right leg back. We're just going to come into a crescent lunge. We're not going for power. We're just going for those hips squared, tailbone to slightly tucked. Your knee can barely be bent. So take a big breath here. Bringing your hands to your hips, drop your right heel, and then keep your hips or your shoulders nice and lifted and your spine long. Begin to extend your spine down. Yeah, and then once you go just about as far as you can, bring your hands onto the mat and then bend your knee significantly. Good, and then straighten that knee back out so it's just a little bit bent. Bring your hands onto your hips with a flat back, lift up through your chest, straighten up through your leg, and then bring your body back to that lunge. Good, and then straighten through both legs. Drop your right heel. Bring your hands to your hips if they're not already. Begin to shift your shoulders closer towards the mat. Bend into your knee. Bring your hands onto the mat. Bend deeper. Good, and then start to straighten out through that left leg. Bring your hands to your hips. Hinge at your hips. Straighten your leg. This time just stay here. Take a big breath. So we're in our warrior 2 stance. Go and bend into that knee. Hinge at your hips. Bring your hands down into the mat. Bend a little deeper. Straighten it out. Bring your hands onto your hips. Lift your chest. Straighten your leg. Let's do 2 more. So bend into your knee. Hinge at your hips. Float your hands down. Bend a little deeper. Good. So big stretch on the inner thigh. Start to lift up through the hips. Bring your hands to them. And then lift your chest all the way up. Straighten your leg. Last one. Go and bend into your knee. Hinge at your hips. Chest reaches down towards the floor. Bring your hands to the mat, bend really, really deep. Lift the hips back up, hands to your hips. Lift up through your chest, straighten your leg, point your toes forward. Shake that out, right on. And then your right toes just point into the back of your mat. Let's first find our lunge just to kind of bring those hips nice and squared. Tuck through your tailbone. Just kind of settle in here. I like to have my hands on the hips the whole time. If you need more power, just extend your arms overhead. And just begin to drop through that left heel, straighten through that right leg, and then bend back into that right leg. Keep keep your hips nice and level. Bring your chest closer towards the mat. So with a flat back, reach your fingertips down towards the mat, bend into that right knee a little deeper. Lift up through the hips, bring your hands to your hips, and then flat back all the way up to standing. Straighten through your leg, turn your body back to the right. Just find a crescent lunge for a moment. Hips are squared. Good, and then drop through that back heel. Straighten through that right leg. Bend into your right knee, and then with a flat back, hinge all the way down. Maybe bring your fingertips down to the mat. Bend a little deeper into that right knee. Get a stretch on the left inner thigh. Lift your hips back up. Bring your hands to your hips. Lift your chest. Straighten your leg. Let's keep that going. So bend into your knee. Hinge at your hips. Bring your fingertips down. Bend deeper into that right knee. Big stretch. Lift your hips a little higher. And then lift your shoulders all the way up. Straighten your leg. Bend back into your right knee. Stay with your breath. Hinge at your hips. Reach to the mat. Bend a little deeper. Lift your hips high. Bring your hands to them. Squeeze your legs to get you all the way back up. Let's take 2 more. So bend into your knee. Hinge all the way down. Bring your fingertips. Maybe bend a little deeper. Good. Staying with your own motion, your own rhythm. 1 more. Nice and easy. Bend deep into that knee. Lift your hips. Bring your hands to them. Straighten your leg, point your toes forward, and then just hinge all the way down. Connect your palms to the mat. Maybe shake your hips side to side. All right, so we're gonna come over to that left leg again, that first leg. So bend into your knee, point your toes out to the corner of your mat. Connect to the outside edge of your back leg. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, straighten through that front leg, bend into your back leg. Maybe it's your right side, your left side. It really doesn't matter. Take an inhale here, and on your exhale, come back to center, bend over to the other side. So inhale, and then exhale. Inhale to stay, exhale to shift. Good, so maybe you get a little lighter through your chest. Maybe you start to come up onto your fingertips. Maybe you bring your hands to your heart. Inhale to stay. Exhale to transition. Inhale to stay. Exhale to transition. Stay low. Inhale and exhale. Staying with your breath. Let your exhale take you over to the other side. Take a few more, just like this. Breathing through the discomfort. Getting as low as you can, but lifting up through your chest. Take 1 more. And then let your upper body go, melt down towards the floor. Start to heel toe your feet together. All the way, so feet are about hip distance apart. Lengthen through your spine, lift your chest. Exhale, fold. Sweep the floor. Rise, and then bring your hands to your heart, close your eyes. Feel your palms together. Feel your body on your yoga mat, this texture you've really been getting to know since the beginning of this class, of this program, these 30 days of yoga. Take a big breath. Then on your exhale, just let it go. Open up the eyes. Maybe have yourself a dance party.
Thank you so much for showing up. Keep crushing it. I'll see you tomorrow.